What up, YouTube? Liger on the beat. Liger Productions bringing back another tutorial video. This video is going to be a Travis Scott type beat tutorial. I'm going to put a quick dark melody in there, throw some drums on it, show you how to arrange it really fast, and that's about it. I'm not going to waste too much time, so let's jump right into this motherfucker.
Alright, so first things first, I got my Nexus here. So what I do usually, typically, if you don't have Nexus, just use FL keys. It works just as good. I usually just use a key piano to kind of build the melody so I can hear clearly that all notes are in key and that my melody is proper. So I've got the BPM at 150. So I'm going to give it like, more bouncy. It's going to be a bouncy beat, but it's going to be dark. So, let's see. There we go. Alright, that works for me. Everything's in key, kind of works. So now, instead of just having a boring melody like that, I want to throw some counter melodies in there, or excuse me, chord progression. Now we're going to add some counter melodies. So I usually look at the bass note of which is the bottom note. These are my bass notes, these four right here. I usually look at that, and that's kind of how I build my melody. So for instance, that's probably going to be the first note that I might hit, so let's try it. Yeah, see, that works. And then the next note can be this one right here because it's this next note right here. So, dun, dun, I'm going to do it right there. So maybe one there. And then maybe there. See, I don't like that, so I'm going to move this down. There we go. Boom. So, melody made. To make it better and more unique, copy and paste onto my VST of choice, obviously, is going to be Omnisphere. I highly recommend anybody using FL Studios or any beat making program that is compatible with Omnisphere. Spend the fucking $500. Get the shit. Don't download it for free. Don't get a virus on your computer. Save some fucking money and invest in yourself, bitch. So just do the right thing. So I've already copied and pasted it. I'm going to mute the piano just so I can hear this actual sound itself and then come to, what I want to use in the final sound. So I'm just going to go through a couple of these sounds and see what we got. And I hit the bells and vibes. It's really good for trap beats most of the time. So. And see, this This is why I produce with headphones on, because this is literally what producing is. It's just seriously like, if you really care about your fucking sound, you're literally going through a million sounds, listening to the same fucking loop over and over. So put some fucking headphones on so nobody has to hear this bullshit except for you until the final product is finished. Okay, I kind of like that, and I'm not trying to waste any more time. So let's see what it sounds like with the keyboard. Piano. Beautiful. So we're going to copy this, even though I've already copied it, and we're going to paste that into this one. I will keep the piano. I tend to like that sound. It's just a classic sound, and you can't go wrong. So now, in total, together, this is what it's going to sound like. Alright, so we could add more melodies to it, which if you want to cheat and do it the easy way, my last video that I posted, you know that you just basically open up another VST. I'm going to shoot for Omnisphere, and just, copy and paste it. And then you got a counter melody again. You got something that gives it a different vibe. And so usually what I do to make it bounce more is I'll use an arpeggio. If it's moving too fast, then I will put halftime on it, which is another great VST that you should invest in. It's pretty cheap. I think it was only like 20 something bucks, like 20 bucks, maybe even cheaper than that. I think 14 now that I think about it. But it's worth it as well. With gross beat, it tends to skip and make clicking noises, which I don't like in the middle of producing, which kind of bothers your ear. If you get the halftime and you put the halftime effect on there, it never does that. It just plays smoothly and you get a clear sound of what it's supposed to sound like. So I haven't put anything in the mixer yet, so let me do that. So I'm just going to press click, hold it down, and scroll. Start here from insert 1 and route to selected channels from this track. Boom. All of them are in the mixer. This is the one I'm going to focus on right now. This isn't about EQing or mixing, so I'm just going to show you the trick to make this beat sound, different. So I put the halftime on there. And now another pattern, paste it, and then I'm going to put it down right here, and we're going to see what that sounds like all together. That sound, quick sound selection as usual. The fourth sound that I'm going to go to before I throw in the drums, which is the quickest thing for me to do, is going to be that dark synth bass that I was referring to in the last video. And with this, anybody can make it. If you have Fruity Loops, you can make the bass that a lot of producers that make trap dark beats like Drake and Travis Scott and shit like that, they want that dark bass, that respace. You have that in Fruity Loops if you have you know, the regular Fruity Edition. Everybody has it. You just need to know where to find it and how to use it. So this is it right here. I open up Harmless. Shout out to the person that posted this video on YouTube. I don't know who it was, but maybe next time I can shout them out on my next video, because ever since I've seen it, I've used this bass and it works every time. So you take the frequency and you put it about half. You pull this pitch all the way down. This pitch right here, you're going to pull right there. This is going to go to 9. Right here, you're going to go to warming, mix, turn it all the way up. This is going to be deep, and this is going to be deep phase saw. So this is my fucking go-to sound. It's a little loud, so you want to turn it down and add it into your mix. But same thing with my counter melodies. I use the bass notes to basically form my bass melody, you know, and I can fuck with it and change it to however I want, you know. But let's just see how this sounds like this. So I'll highlight it and then bring it Control and then press down. It's going to bring it down 1 octave. So let's see how that sounds. Okay, I like that. I just feel like this last note needs to be different. So maybe this can go there. So it should be that. Let's try this. Found it. Okay, so it wasn't this note, it was going to be this one right here. So you gotta, like, you don't just put the bass notes on there and assume that it works. Play around with it. Listen to the note that isn't predictable, the next note that's not, like, it's weird. You can predict the next sound if you really know music. You just need to know where you're going to put that note, what note it is, and in this case, it wasn't the G4, it was the G4 dark key. I don't know what the fuck that is. Anyways, I'm not a fucking professional music maker. I just make beats and then I produce fucking music for people, and that's all it is. So, got my bass note. I'm going to copy that, put it over here, and now go back here, cut it, and then let's throw some fucking hi-hats in here. Let's make it simple, quick, so we can get this video over with. I'm going to throw my Metro Boomin hi-hats in this bitch. We're going to move to the 5th pattern. Put that motherfucker on there like that. We're just going to do this simple 2-step, open it up. Let's not waste any time. Do I need to hear it? No, I don't, because I know what this is going to sound like. But I will play it for you, so you know what it sounds like, because this isn't about me, this is about you guys. So let's do this here. I know there's easier ways to do these things, but, you know, once you get in your old habits, you're in your own habits. You can, you know, I don't know, there's nothing you can do. Alright, so just a random hi-hat melody, and then I'm going to throw some low melody hits. So let's see what this sounds like all together. put the clap in there. The fucking chlamydia, we're gonna put that shit in there. I think it's this one. So let's put this fucker in here. And then I got a clap. You can layer the clap with the snare, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use the snare as the bouncing of the rhythm, you know, kind of bring it in here and there. It's not going to be combined with the clap. I like claps. We're going to leave it how it is. Perfect. Okay. Now, everybody's fucking favorite, 808. So usually I will go to the melody, put it on pattern 1 only, so where it only plays that, and then build my melody off of that. So let's just. Oops. That is not it. Make sure it's cut. All right. Super simple. So I highlighted it, boom, Control A, Control L, bam, they all hit each other now. So in the 808, you're gonna wanna do this. All these knobs are turned off and turn this one all the way up. The reason why you do that is because whenever I bring in that synth bass, the 808 will completely cut off and it will not bleed into the synth bass. I should have left it to kind of let you guys hear it, but I don't want to hear that shit. So just take my advice. We are going to copy that, put it on pattern 7, paste it, go back, cut it out. Now we're going to go here, place it in our mixer, boom. Bam, son. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to EQ this because I do want to do something to it, and hopefully this helps. After I add the kick, I'm going to call it a day on this beat. But I want to show you what you can do to make your 808s hit harder. So I learned this from Unorthodox Beats. Shout out to Unorthodox. He's the man. He influenced me. He, in my eyes, is one of the GOATs of the YouTube producers. So I learned this from him, so shout out to him. Just pay attention to your mixer. So if you look at it's hitting at 6, okay? I believe it's if you go over that 3 right above it, I think that's when you're too much. So you can bring it up a little bit. You just click the middle. Find it. Perfect. That works for me. Next is the kick, my favorite part. It just happens to give, people's beats a lot more bounce. DJ Spin's kick, I've been feeling it. It works really well. I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to put it in the mixer, only because I want to EQ the click out of it, and then I want to show you how to sidechain. Whether or not I'm doing it correctly is another thing. You can go based on your own ear, but whenever I do this, it sounds good to me. So I've got it clicked on the Spin's kick. Then I go right here and right click this arrow, and it'll say sidechain to this track. Sidechain it. Now you'll have this little electric, you know, little wire essentially. Go to your 808 now, and then open up a Fruity limiter. Press compress, basically what that means, and then right click it. Boom, there's your kick. And then I'm gonna turn my thresh to about there. I'm gonna pull my knee this way. And if I'm doing this wrong, feel free to please tell me, because I would love to get better at this. Anytime I can get better at this, it's, you know, it's a go-to for me. I'm always trying to get better. So I'm gonna put that there, and then the velocity is all the way up, so that kick fucking knocks whenever it hits. And then the same thing, I want to do the wave shaper, and then look at my mixer to make sure. There we go. Okay, so now I know where the notes go for sure, but I'm going to throw some extra ones in there to give it that bounce. You know, you don't want to have the same as the 808. So let's try this out. There's the beat in its entirety. So let's build it really quick, how I would build the beat. So usually I'll have one melody playing by itself, but I'm gonna do like this. One melody, and then I'm gonna bring in that synth bass we made earlier, and then I'm gonna drop the drums in with probably just the melody, and then add another counter melody. And then with this, to give your drums a switch up, you're gonna wanna delete your kicks out of the second pattern. So let's see what I've got so far. Before I do that, I want to make sure this sounds good. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put 3 here, and then add these here. And this here. So now let's see. Alright YouTube, that's it. As you can tell, I'm back in my chef coat. The sweater and the vest was way too fucking hot, or maybe it was that beat that I just made. I don't know. I hope what I showed you helped. I know that when I watched tutorials as a young producer, fuck me, I still am actually. When I was first learning how to do this shit, whenever anybody made videos like that, I appreciated it, and it really did help me and inspired me to do better beats. So like or subscribe. If not, I don't give a fuck.